Staff Assembly. Today's Learn at Lunch is an election kickoff where our board will discuss who we are and how you can get involved. Before we begin, I wanted to take a moment to thank our current 23-24 board members for their hard work and dedication this year. Next slide. Today, we will be discussing, again, what is Staff Assembly, our executive board governance, advocacies and accomplishments, our board positions, campus committees, executive board positions by role, volunteer opportunities, eligibility and time commitments, nomination and election timeline, Staff Assembly social media, and questions and answers. Next slide. Staff Assembly was founded in 1978 and is supported by the Office of the Chancellor and Campus Human Resources. It is an organization for staff and by staff, dedicated to promoting the interest and welfare of all staff employees. Staff Assembly serves as an advisory board, as an advisory body to the Chancellor and University Administration on issues of concern to staff. We foster staff engagement in support of UCLA's mission through educational, social, and community programs. It is a two-way communication system to help promote respect and cooperation among staff and other members of our UCLA community. As a UCLA employee, you are automatically members of Staff Assembly. Some of the benefits that we all experience through being a board member of Staff Assembly are leadership opportunities, networking and building community, personal and professional development, and staff representation on campus and system-wide committees. Next slide, please. Staff Assembly is governed by an all-staff volunteer executive board. The executive board is elected by members of the Staff Assembly and works within parameters set by our bylaws. Our executive sponsor is Dr. Luby Levin, Associate Vice Chancellor for Campus Human Resources. In addition to the executive board, committee members and general Staff Assembly volunteers support various functions. Staff Assembly collaborates and works with all UC staff assemblies as a member of the Council of University of California's Staff Assemblies. Next slide, please. Some of our advocacy and accomplishments in past and recent years, I'll start on the left-hand side with some of our past advocacy efforts and accomplishments that I'm truly proud of. We advocated for pay increases in July 1st, 2021 and 22 between 3 to 4.5%. We created advocacy for reduction of required time off during winter closures. We advocated for paid family leave. We support benefits for non-traditional families. We developed and advocated for the staff advisor to the regent's position. Some of our most recent accomplishments this past year have been that we were able to provide 34 scholarships for professional development. We advocated for an expansion of LinkedIn Learning for all UCLA staff, both campus and health. We advocated for pay increases for our policy covered staff for 7/1/2024 at 4.2%. We were successful in raising $6,500 in our annual Spark campaign. We increased our staff scholarship amounts from $500 to $750. We advocated against increased pension contribution and we are still advocating for tuition reimbursement and other benefits. Next slide, please. This is a glance at our current executive board. I would like to point out a couple of things. This year, finance, our VP of Finance is not up for election. Our president-elect role is a 3-year commitment. It's the presidential track. First year is president-elect, second year is president, and third year is immediate past president. And the positions with 3 asterisks are president-appointed positions. Those are Chief Advocacy Officer, Campus Member at Large, Health Member at Large. Next slide, please.
Good morning. My name is Katja Antoine. I'm the Chief Advocacy Officer for Staff Assembly, and I will talk a little bit about the campus committees that Staff Assembly appoints representatives to or nominates. So generally speaking, for any committee, the Staff Assembly representatives are required to report back on the activities of the committees that they serve on. They can do that either by coming to our board meetings that take place twice a month, or by emailing the person in my position, the Chief Advocacy Officer. Starting with the John Wooden Center Board of Governors. So the commitment for this committee is 2 years. It starts in September. There's 1 primary position with voting rights and 1 backup with non-voting rights. And the meetings are monthly, usually virtual, from November through early June. They strongly prefer participants in the rec center, so people who already have an involvement with the center. The Student Conduct Committee is a 3-year term, and they have usually the minimum hearing you have to commit to is 1 per quarter. All hearings are virtual. And there I should mention that panel members do not determine sanctions. They only have to determine if it's more likely than not that a violation has occurred of the student code. The UCLA Sustainability Committee is currently a 1-year term. It may change to 2. Meetings are on Zoom, 90 minutes every other month. And the UCLA Committee on LGBTQ+ Affairs is a 2-year term, and we have 3 staff positions for that one. Lastly, the UCLA Committee on Disability is a 2-year term, and meetings are also on Zoom, 90 minutes monthly. Representatives on that committee can just attend meetings if they want, or be involved in subcommittees that are also available. Thank you.
As president, my main responsibilities are to manage the Staff Assembly Executive Board, serve as a CUCSA 2nd-year delegate. Just to give you background, if you are unfamiliar with what CUCSA is the Council of UC Staff Assemblies. It was maintained and enhanced. It's to maintain and enhance communication with and across the UC community on matters of interest to staff employees. Its delegation includes members from all 10 campuses, Agriculture and Natural Resources, Berkeley Lab, and UC Office of the President. CUCSA is involved in matters of interest and concern to those who are not exclusively represented, and may address matters not within the scope of representation for those exclusively represented. Its functions guide under the UC system-wide human resources with direct support from the system-wide executive director of employee relations. In this role, both first-year delegates under the president-elect role and 2nd-year delegate under the presidential role attend quarterly CUCSA meetings. It gives us a chance to meet with our staff assembly representatives across the campuses, find out what's going on their campus, how they're doing things, and simultaneously, respectfully, them asking the same questions of us. As president, I serve on university committees, councils, and task force. As this is a volunteer position, I try to attend the majority of meetings. If not, I delegate meetings to our board members who may have interest in certain areas, such as safety, sustainability, unhoused, just to name a few. The police chief advisory committee meetings as well. That's another meeting that one of my board members attends. I oversee communications on behalf of Staff Assembly. I'm responsible for all of the finances, and I co-sign on disbursement of funds, for example, reimbursements for scholarships. I oversee fundraising efforts alongside the VP of Development. I promote the interest and welfare of all staff employees and advocates on their behalf. And similarly to a previous slide, I appoint and manage non-voting executive board and committee member positions: chief of staff, chief advocacy officer, campus, and health members at large. In addition to in this role, there's a ton of visibility. I've had the ability to meet vice chancellors that I would never have been able to meet in my, as we say, day job. I've been able to have conversations and attend events for women leadership by Mrs. Block. I'm currently sitting on committees with people that where it seems like, how am I on these type of committees? How am I being able to support and advocate for our UCLA staff? So it's a real treat. It's a lot of fun, a lot of hard work and dedication. And I'm truly honored to support Staff Assembly and our Staff Assembly community during the 24-25 academic year. Next slide. We have an open position as president-elect. Again, like I shared, it is a 3-year commitment. It is a president in training year. You serve as a CUCSA first-year delegate. You support all of the board initiatives and events. You promote the interest and welfare of your staff employees and advocate on their behalf. You serve on campus committees and task forces on behalf of Staff Assembly and perform duties of the president in their absence. Next slide.
Hello, I'm Anna Esquivel, and I currently fill the role of immediate past president. The immediate past president incoming for next year will be Lucine Tarosian. The primary responsibilities is to serve as a mentor to the Staff Assembly Executive Board, manage engagement survey task forces, engage past presidents and other past board members, and provide support with historical information. So this is the 3rd year of a commitment for those of you who might be interested in the president position. And as Heidi mentioned, there is a lot of value. Yes, it is a volunteer position and role, and 3 years is a lot of commitment, but you gain a lot of opportunities with engaging with leadership, getting to know people across the rest of the university, expanding your network, and growing your professional development. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tulasi. I'm currently working as a vice president creative production for the Staff Assembly. Before I start, I would like to say thank you, Anna. Yeah, I have been working with Anna for 2 years now. It's a Staff Assembly, and she has given like a lot of like knowledge. And I could actually be able to spend a lot of time for Staff Assembly in my free time and help with not only creative production. I have also exposed to the strategic communications, information systems, and whatnot. Whenever I got opportunity, I could help with so many stuff earlier. So in this current role as a creative production, you will be able to do many things, not only the things that you do in day job. You can actually, if you have passion for creating graphics or flyers, or you have always have all the freedom of creating them like with your own imagination. You can do your best without thinking, and the team always supports you. And in this current role, I have privilege to work on designing like emails, like campaigns and website for websites, newsletters, and social media. Any digital graphics that may come as a requirement, you get to work on those. And also you can work on flyers, programs, and the signages. And for the like some of the programs and events, we have some video editing opportunities as well. I mainly used Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop, but yeah, if you have more skills, always welcome to try and give your best. And we have the UCLA brand guidelines, always to follow those. And it is definitely a good opportunity to meet new people and like-minded, and or also different-minded people to get to know. But if the map frequency matches, yeah, you can make more friendships as well. Thank you. And I forward to, can you please move the slide so that I know who is next? Thank you. Yeah, VP of Development. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Tulasi. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us today. My name is Jacqueline Rodeo. I'm the VP for Development. So when you think about positions in development or advancement, you think of fundraising, which is an important part of this position, but it's also about connecting with our campus community at large and external partners who support our staff. And this is what I love about this position, and what makes this position so exciting is the relationship building aspect of it. You're able to build relationships and meet other individuals around campus and other organizations in order to secure the philanthropic support for our staff. So the Spark campaign is one of the biggest campaigns to help our staff by providing money for scholarships. So this year, as Heidi alluded to earlier, we have raised about $6,500 and actually exceeded our number of donor goals of over 125 donations, which is quite fantastic. And the monies that we receive will provide staff scholarships for professional development. And with the money raised, we're able to increase the scholarship amounts from $500 to $750 per staff. And last year, we were able to support 34 staff members by providing the scholarship. So the VP for Development manages this campaign effort from the beginning to end, and you'll be working alongside with the campus crowdfunding team, as well as the president, to help create the Spark project development timeline, how to determine the goal or your goal, how to create the Spark website. They will help you with tips on outreach, marketing, social media, whether it's calling, texting, emailing potential donors. They are your guys. So you do have a lot of support from the campaign's inception to when the project launches until the project ends. So you have the full support from the crowdfunding team, as well as the staff assembly. And this is an exciting position, especially to those of you who do enjoy connecting and building relationships with on-campus and off-campus organizations. So it's definitely an exciting position, and I have had a wonderful and terrific year, just getting to know other folks around campus, getting to know our executive board. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me directly. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I am Laura Schreiber, current VP of Digital Engagement, and that means that I handle all of our social media. And so I'm going to be popping some links in the chat for you all so that you can join if you aren't already followers of our social media. And one on the left here that I have some examples of is our Instagram. And let's see, there we go. I post all of our webinar information and any events that we have coming up, like the Meet the Leaders and Outdoors with Mrs. Block, and then promoting our scholarships and Spark campaign, and also attending the events if I'm able to, and taking pictures to post, or aggregating pictures from other attendees so that we can keep people excited about our events and coming back for more. And I also post in our stories on Instagram. I've been doing Trivia Tuesday. There's a lot of room for creative expression in this role. So basically, whatever your heart desires, you can play with it. And then Fam Fridays is another way that you can be creative in getting people engaged. We give away tickets to the UCLA football games. And so we work with the president to select the winners and have people post their blue and gold outfits. And then they can attend the event for free, which is super fun and gets their whole team involved. And we are also on Facebook, and I post all of the events on there. And we are on Twitter, now X, and dabbling with Threads. It's still kind of taking off, but I tend to post similar information from Twitter. But again, that's room for you to explore and play with social media, especially if it's a position that you've been considering trying. That's one positive thing about Staff Assembly. You get to try different roles that you might not do in your day job. And I've loved meeting people on the board and getting to feature them with these staff spotlights, like this one with Brittany that just went out yesterday. And, there are a lot of great people that, as Heidi mentioned, it's great for networking and visibility and just having access to people that I wouldn't have met if I weren't on the board. And I am going to toss it to the next slide, please. And
hi, everyone. My name is Mike McCormick. I am the VP of Events. I use he, him, his pronouns. I have been in this role since July, and it's been one of the highlights of my academic year, helping coordinate, plan the all staff social, which happened in November. That was kind of the pillar event of Staff Appreciation Week, which had a number of activations to help show the love and appreciation for staff that, as part of our charge, we kind of take to heart in the work that we do. Staff is helping plan the all staff social, I think, gave me an opportunity to upscale my event planning skills. In my day job, I do a lot of event planning, but not on the scale of an off-campus event for 48,000 staff members. And I think it was a real learning experience to show the scale and understanding what it means to be a leader on campus. I think similar to what Jacqueline was saying, the relationships that you build as part of these roles have been kind of the most affirming thing. So through all staff social, making contacts at the events office has helped my day-to-day job, but it's also been a good professional network as in being part of like the Bruin family. Another major event that my area coordinates is the Meet the Leaders series, which every quarter has done some sort of engagement with a high-level administrator at the university. Last quarter, we did a breakfast with Chancellor Block. We are doing another one in May with more information to come on that. But again, another opportunity to rub elbows with the big cheese, Gene Block, Chancellor Block. And then similar, I'm the contact person for Staff Assembly election. So if there are any questions or pieces that come up, in terms of process for any candidates who might be interested in any of the elected roles. You can reach out to me. I will put my email in the chat. But the process of the election has been coordinated by myself and Heidi. So if there are things that come up with that, please feel free to reach out for those. Thank you.
Thanks so much, everyone. So hi, my name is Samantha Nelson. I currently serve as the VP of Information Systems on Staff Assembly. And just echoing what everyone else has said, Staff Assembly has been such an invaluable experience to really elevate skills that, you know, maybe you feel you already have and would like to build upon, or skills that you want to get a little bit more exposure to and don't have that opportunity in your quote unquote day job. So as VP of Information Systems, my primary role is to serve as the content administrator for the Staff Assembly website, YouTube channel, and campus event calendar. As part of that, it's my responsibility to troubleshoot and resolve any technical complications that may arise on any of those platforms and others that we use. I work concurrently with campus and health HR to update and maintain our Staff Assembly listserv. And that really is a critical component to feeding into our newsletter, ensuring that everyone is getting our information who should be. And then providing technical expertise. So this has a pretty wide range of possibilities. This has gone from WordPress to Google Forms to Qualtrics to Power Automate. So if you already have technical skills and you're interested in building upon those, or if you want to explore something new, that I will say this role is very technically focused. So if you're interested in that, feel free to apply, and we look forward to seeing you.
So with the VP of Outreach, the goal of this role is to strengthen existing relationships or partnerships with internal partnerships with the that involve UCLA on and build on prospective collaborations. We are looking to work with board members on their respective initiatives. We would like to increase our overall visibility and image of Staff Assembly as an organization, not just event planners, but the work that we do via advocacy. If there's an area of interest, we are highly interested to support our partners along the campus and health side and bring their initiatives to life. We also network and table at Staff Assembly events. And this role partners with the VP of events, but I believe that this role partners with many board members across our staff. So not just VP of events, but we kind of all have a hand in, as I'm sharing this slide, our board member is not able to be here today. So we all pitch in if we pitch in where we can for the greater good, which is for the staff. Next slide.
Hello, everyone. My name is Paola Manterola. I'm the VP for Programs, and I'm honored to be here presenting the Learn at Launch webinars. So I'm going to talk about our webinars because this is an important space for the Staff Assembly to connect with partners who share valuable information and resources with all our faculty and staff community. We host these webinars once or twice a month, and the topics we usually related with the month-specific theme. For instance, in March, it was the Kidney Health Month, and the webinar title for March was Kidney Health, What You Should Know with Dr. Rastogi. So we try to coordinate the themes accordingly. And we are being very successful, I will say. I jumped into this role in August 2023, so I'm like quite new in the role. But I will say it is a very, very great opportunity So since August 2023, when we have 231 attendees, so sorry, I'm multitasking in another meeting as well. So 1 second, please. Okay, great. So sorry. So in August 2023, I wanted to say that we had 231 attendees in 2 webinars that we host in August and September 26, October 65. So numbers vary. Number of attendees. In March, we have 78 attendees because it will depend, of course, on the topic we are covering. And about programming, it takes us about 5 hours per week to organize and create the 1 or the 2 webinars that we host per month. And main actions to meet these objectives are to call to engage with department interested in collaborating with the Learn at Lunch program. We also solicit partner availability and consult the VP of Records and Archives for internal board calendar and optimal dates and times. Also, we solicit materials from collaborators. So the way we can request their name, the presentation title, their bio, a short blurb, and a photo. So as you can see here in this slide, we can create with our team the graphics that you see in the right-hand side. And that way we can promote in our social media, website, and everywhere else, right? We also have newsletter, so we also promote the Learn at Lunch in the newsletter. In my role also, I have to send reminders to board members or for the VP of Digital Engagement, VP of Strategic Communications, and VP of Information Systems to begin the promotion period to promote the event, usually 2 to 3 weeks prior to the webinar, using the graphics they create. And of course, we have our files and promotions according to the schedule. We create a calendar invite. So I invite all board members and then I include them in the webinar Zoom link. And of course, all the webinars are being hosted online. About the Fun Friday program, that's another program that is under the Vice President of Programs and Staff Assembly. This is a partnership with UCLA Athletics, who kindly provide free tickets that we give away to faculty and staff and their family after participating in social media contest. Folks have to post a photo in our social networks, and the winners can get up to 4 tickets. We work collaboratively with the UCLA Athletics and Athletics Marketing and promoting the contest in our website, social media, newsletter as well. And this is something that is happening from September to November each year. So that's basically what I have to oversee in my role as the Vice President of Programs. Thank you.
Thank you. So my name is Douglas Carbajal. I am currently Vice President of Records and Archives. A core responsibility in this role is to support board meetings, inclusive of preparing board meeting agendas that need to be reviewed with the President-elect, but also collecting board member updates for a variety of different projects and tasks that Staff Assembly participates in. And ultimately also record minutes during the board meeting for tracking of items, action items, and progress on a variety of different tasks. This will also include management of our events calendar and ensure follow-up, especially within the agenda in our biweekly meetings. Separate from board meetings, this role will also be supporting across a variety of different ad hoc requests that can occur that allow opportunities to partner with other board members on a variety of different projects and events. This role will also be supporting a data gathering for annual report generation for Staff Assembly in partnership with board members, essentially summarizing all the activities and all the work that we've accomplished really through the year. So really throughout the year, there's a lot of tracking and collecting that information. This role will also be involved with managing inventory for Staff Assembly content and materials, which are all stored in a storage space that we are fortunate enough to have in Murphy Hall on campus. So this role would involve really managing that, because we do have a variety of different either swag items that we have to manage, as well as, you know, items for our variety of different events that we need to store and just track and make sure they don't disappear for future boards to be able to utilize. I will say this role is a great opportunity for those interested in engaging with multiple board members and really gaining awareness of really the functions within Staff Assembly. So it just provides you a lot of exposure across the different areas. If you're unsure, especially if you want to go in a certain area or not, this provides you great exposure and opportunities to collaborate with a lot of individuals. There's a predictable amount of work that can be anticipated in this role, from agenda preparation and seasonal tasks inclusive of support for board members, as well as events. For individuals in this position, I will highlight that attention to detail is very helpful, as well as flexibility in being able to join those board meetings, because this role obviously is central in terms of taking the minutes, but you know, at least to the extent possible, planning to attend all of them would be very helpful. I will just note and close really on my part here that echoing kind of what other board members have stated, that just joining Staff Assembly really allows you to expand on leadership opportunities and develop new skill sets, as well as collaborate with a variety of individuals across all of UCLA that you may not have the opportunity really to work with in your area. And it's just overall a very fulfilling experience to really support and advocate for staff really together on shared initiatives with a group of really great people that you get to work with. So that's Vice President for Records and Archives. So I'll turn it over to the next slide for our next board member.
Hi, everyone. My name is Brittany Robinson. I'm the VP of Special Projects. Very new to this role. I've been here for 5 weeks, so still gaining my bearings, but it has been, wow, a whirlwind of information. And kind of as Doug mentioned, just learning about all of the things that I didn't know about before being a part of Staff Assembly. But the main thing that the VP of Special Projects will coordinate will be events that foster community between staff, faculty, and students. And that's something that's near and dear to my heart. So I'll start with the awards and scholarships. So I focus on coordinating the scholarship award ceremony, coordinating the scholarship selection with the selection committee. I also help with the VIP receptions with Mrs. Block, and also outdoors with Mrs. Block, which hopefully one of you was selected and gets to go in this coming opportunity. But it's really a pleasure to get to spearhead events that focus on community. It's definitely something that I think needs to be a intentional part of every organization. And I really am just on this learning journey with this team, this incredible team that really supports each other and works together. I know sometimes it's weary, being a part of a new team, wondering how are you all going to fit in, but they've really made it a family and really made it I'll say easy to join and just be a part of the inner workings of the machine that is Staff Assembly.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tiffany Lopes, and I'm the VP of Communications or Strategic Communications for Staff Assembly. I'm going to talk a little bit about the role. If you like writing, editing, and sharing content, the VP of Strategic Communications is the perfect position for you. In that role, you're responsible for the UCLA Staff Assembly biweekly newsletter and other email communications. All of the great events and initiatives my fellow board members have talked about. So the Meet the Leader series, Spark campaign, and other fundraisers, all staff social, learn at lunches, awards and scholarships, and so on are all promoted in our newsletters. You also get the chance to work with people from across the university and hear about some of the exciting news and events and help share that information with UCLA staff. We also have some regular columns like a staff spotlight, which recognizes a UCLA staff member who has provided exceptional service, as well as a wellness corner featuring health and wellness tips and information. You'll work on story lineups and have the opportunity to suggest new columns and content, and then you'll write and or edit content, build out the newsletter in MailChimp, which is our email marketing platform. You'll test the newsletter looking at both desktop and mobile views to ensure that the content and formatting are consistent. This is really just a great opportunity if you want to hone your communication skills, if you want to build communication skills, build leadership skills, and also just really learn more about all the great things going on campus and share them with a bigger audience. You also, as noted here, work on some of these standalone email blasts. So when there's exciting news and things that are happening, you'll help either develop content or you'll edit content and send out these emails. I'm going to put my email address in the chat if you want to reach out with any questions about the position. And then I will turn it over to Pamela, our VP of Wellness, who is also our Wellness Corner contributor.
Thanks, Tiffany. Hi, everyone. Good morning, or sorry, good afternoon. My name is Pamela Massenke, VP of Wellness for Staff Assembly. I am just as new as Brittany and have learned so much already and already starting to meet a network of people. So in the wellness area, I have the privilege of partnering with campus departments and UCLA community groups, such as the Healthy Campus Initiative, UCLA Recreation, and Staff and Faculty Counseling Center, to name a few, where we share a common goal to engage the UCLA community with programs such as the Learn at Lunches, working with the lovely Paula, coordinating fitness activities and social events that promote health and wellness. Also in this role, we address the needs of staff well-being, as well as spearhead the development and the implementation of activities around promoting the knowledge of health standards, safety protocols, and wellness principles. And I'm also happy to announce that this year we relaunched the Wellness Corner, as Tiffany had mentioned, in the Staff Assembly newsletter so that we can provide available resources to staff on campus. And as everyone, mentioned on this call, this is a position great for creating relationships with UCLA campus departments and basically learning about what UCLA has to offer. It's a fun and an engaging role, and I'm excited to be part of the group. So with that, I'm happy to provide additional information should you have any questions. Thank you.
Rose, you're on mute.
So sorry, it took a while to get to my slides, so I kept myself on mute. Welcome, everyone. I'm the UCLA Health Member at Large. And first and foremost, I think you will meet the most amazing people in Staff Assembly. Absolutely amazing people. I would say that is the top benefit. Aside from that, in my role, I support all the vice presidents and of course the president with any tasks that they may need. So for example, I volunteered to assist with the Mrs. Block's VIP receptions and the all staff social. So I would say for somebody, if you're concerned about the time commitment, this particular role kind of fits in where it's not going to ask as much of you in terms of that, time on a day-to-day basis or weekly or what have you, but it certainly allows you an opportunity to support the board in any way that they need, and then your fellow staff members. So I certainly encourage you to, if you feel like you're not necessarily ready for a certain vice president position, if you're interested in contributing, but maybe on a with less time commitment, this is certainly a position where you can do that. And I'll pass that over to Heidi.
Hello. Oops.
Go ahead, Katya.
Yeah, all right. Hello again. I'm Katya Antoine, and as I mentioned earlier, I'm the Chief Advocacy Officer, and now I'll talk a little bit about what that role entails. So it is also appointed by the president, same as the member at large. And in that role, you serve as a liaison between the board and the 5 campus committees that have staff representatives seated through Staff Assembly. And those are the 5 we discussed earlier. You would also participate in EDI-related activities and serve on committees on behalf of Staff Assembly as requested and needed. And those are sometimes, one-off task forces or things like that that you may need to serve on. You are not a voting member, but certainly participate in board meetings and contribute with updates there. As far as the work itself, similarly to the member at large, is not as demanding as a VP position. I would say the administrative work is maybe a couple of hours per week, but it's not consistent. So some weeks might not be anything at all, and other weeks you would have a little more to do. There is certainly room for more if you have the bandwidth, such as, for instance, attending committee meetings, which you are welcome to do, and getting involved in EDI matters on campus. So there's exponential room for growth, but it's not inherently super demanding. I think it's a good position for someone who is interested in promoting and contributing to staff well-being and to campus culture. Like if that is really where your passion is, then I think you would enjoy doing what the Chief Advocacy Officer does. For me, it has expanded my network on campus and allowed me to participate in highly rewarding professional and social activities that I otherwise might not have, and not the least with my Staff Assembly colleagues. That's been really great to get to know people and learn what everyone does, not only on Staff Assembly, but in their day jobs and outside of work. So highly recommended. And if you have any questions, you're welcome to contact me. I don't think I can put my email in the chat right now, but I can always be reached through the Staff Assembly email, where someone will forward it to me otherwise. Thank you.
Maybe an exec board position is something that feels outside the scope right now. There are a lot of volunteer opportunities with Staff Assembly as well. In addition to running for an exec board position, you can join a Staff Assembly task force or a committee. You can apply for a campus committee appointment, become a general volunteer, sign up to receive the newsletter, which even before I was on Staff Assembly, I read voraciously. So it's a good read regardless. Follow us on social media at UCLA SA. Help promote Staff Assembly and the work that we do for advocacy and staff engagement, and donate to the scholarship fund. Even $1 or more is such a helpful way of contributing to our Spark campaign with the total donor contributors. If you're interested in a volunteer opportunity, there's a QR code here, and you can sign up at the link here for any opportunities that you might be interested in. And turn over to Heidi.
So we'll discuss eligibility and time. So any member of the Staff Assembly who has completed 1 year of employment is eligible to become a member of the Board of Staff Assembly. Elected board members' roles are reserved for policy-covered, also known as non-represented staff. And for time, there is a release time, I don't want to say guideline. Participation in this organization shall be considered an official university function. Therefore, supervisors shall encourage and support release time for employees who wish to participate in staff assembly activities and/or meetings according to the guidelines for relations with employee associations and advisory groups. Also, these guidelines provide that management support of approved organizations may include allowing a reasonable amount of time on pay status to be devoted to legitimate association activities by officers and members. And so anybody who is interested today, my suggestion is to make sure that you talk with your direct supervisor and share these expectations. Thank you. Next slide.
This is a timeline for nomination and election, the election process. Application submissions will start April 10th and go through April 26th. We'll confirm eligibility through Campus HR from April 29th to May 7th. May 8th through May 17th will be the staff-wide election process. Please vote, encourage your departments to vote, encourage your friends across campus to vote, and then have them tell their departments to vote. And then the week of May 22nd, we'll make the announcement about the elected executive board positions. As I said earlier, as we've been saying earlier, the staff assembly email is right below. So if there are specific questions, you can reach out there so reach out and we can reach any of the positions that you might be interested in. We can kind of forward their emails to them directly. If you have any process or questions, they'll be directed to me specifically. But this is your one-stop shop for any questions about all things staff assembly. And follow us on social media. There are many opportunities to follow us, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, X, Twitter, LinkedIn, and our website as well. Additionally, the volunteer link is there's a QR code is remaining here. So if you are interested, here's another opportunity to scan your QR code. And then if you're interested in CUCSA, which we referenced at the beginning of the session, and more about the Board of Regents, their websites are listed here as well. With that, thank you, everyone. We have about 5 minutes for any questions that might come up in the Q&A section function.
Were we that clear? That's amazing.
First time.
Right. If we do not have any questions, I can give you guys back 4 minutes of your time. Again, with what Mike said, please reach out to us at Staff Assembly email address, and we will forward the appropriate email to whomever, whatever position or person you're interested in. We'll make sure to forward that information to them. I know that Tiffany was able to share her email address along with, that's about it right now. And we placed Staff Assembly's email address as well. So thank you so much for joining us today. And we hope to hear from you, see you, follow us. Thank you. Have a good day.
Oh, Heidi, there is a question in the Q&A.
Oh, we have Q&A questions. Thanks, Sean. As advocates for the staff, do you coordinate with union? No. So again, we are all unrepresented policy covered staff, so we do not get involved in union advocacy. Okay. Again, if you choose to email us with your questions, we'll respond. Thank you so much for today. Bye-bye.